month to take part in this year's Northern Strike military exercise held at Lake Michigan. For the first time, the exercises shifted focus from Europe to the Indo-Pacific, simulating a potential conflict in Asia. The drills brought together 7,500 troops from 36 U.S. states and 9 international partners. The exercises involved every branch of the U.S. military except the Space Force. They also mixed National Guard and Reserve units with active duty forces. Officials say these troops, who usually train in the U.S., could be called on for large-scale conflicts in Asia. Taiwan's involvement is being highlighted publicly for the first time, but the island has actually been a U.S. partner in the exercises since 2021. Taiwanese analysts say the two militaries have been steadily working closer together. China has responded with a warning. Its embassy in Washington, D.C. told Newsweek that the cooperation could spark conflict in the Taiwan Strait. Chinese leader Xi Jinping has reportedly vowed to seize Taiwan by 2027. On Tuesday, Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stressed that the island must ultimately rely on itself for defense. The statement comes after President Trump claimed that Xi told him China would not invade Taiwan while he was in office. The U.S. is Taiwan's biggest supporter and arms supplier, even though the two don't have formal diplomatic ties or a defense treaty. Under the Taiwan Relations Act, Washington is required to provide Taiwan with a means to defend itself. But the law doesn't specify whether the U.S. would send troops if China attacks. Taiwan plans to raise defense spending by 20% next year, pushing it past 3% of GDP for the first time since 2009. Officials say the boost is meant to strengthen the island's defenses against China. Taiwan's premier says the 2026 budget would exceed $31 billion, with extra funds for new fighter jets and stronger naval defenses. For the first time, Coast Guard funding will also be included in the defense budget. Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te has made military modernization a top priority, including developing homegrown submarines. Taiwan's government says the spending increases are a direct response to China's growing military and political pressure. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, NT News. A new poll from Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council shows about 2/3 of respondents say the Chinese Communist Party's infiltration of Taiwan is getting worse. The concern is picking up after Taiwanese media reports of communist clubs popping up in high schools across the island. According to a cross-campus organization's website, at least 39 schools across Taiwan have reportedly set up Communist Party clubs. Some even have formal roles like general secretaries and other committees. Taiwanese officials are taking quick action.
The humanitarianism and utopian ideals promoted by communism can easily attract young people, but in reality, theory and practice are worlds apart. I hope young people take the time to study the history of the CCP and the international communist movement. The reality of communist rule is very different from the ideal of a communist society.
Taiwanese law currently allows political parties to register under the Communist Party name, but authorities are urging young people to learn more about history. Taiwan's Ministry of Education has also been called on to step in.
As for young people drawn to utopian ideals, we won't view it from a legal perspective. Instead, it's up to Taiwan's Ministry of Education and local education bureaus to look into the situation.
When it comes to the nature of the Chinese Communist Party and the global communist movement, the Epoch Times has released a series of books, including the widely circulated 9 commentaries on the Communist Party and how the specter of communism is ruling our world. These books examine communism's history and its impact around the world. New polling from Taiwan shows rising concern about Beijing's influence. The latest survey by Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council finds that about 2/3 of respondents say the Chinese Communist Party's infiltration of Taiwan is becoming increasingly serious. Let's take a look at a few more figures showing how the Taiwanese public views the Chinese regime. About 86% of the public in Taiwan say they support their government's policy of broadly maintaining the status quo with China. At the same time, nearly 84% of people in Taiwan reject China's one country, two systems plan. That's Beijing's idea to control Taiwan while letting it keep its own system, similar to Hong Kong and Macau. About 74% of people in Taiwan believe that Taiwan and China are separate and not subordinate to one another. Nearly 75% of Taiwanese oppose military, government, or school officials holding Chinese IDs. When it comes to travel, about 2/3 support requiring civil servants to get approval before visiting China, Hong Kong, or Macau. And nearly 67% of people in Taiwan back stricter government checks on Chinese nationals applying for exchange programs. And that's all for today's China in Focus. I'm Tiffany Meyer.
If you know me, you know I'm holding off on smartphones until my girls are much older. And I've gotten so many questions about the phones that...
我们今天谈了2大问题，第一个是关于俄乌和平的未来的情况我也展示了2个画面，第一个画面呢就是定格版其中存在了5个版本的关于俄乌和平的一种说法。目前进入了动态版也就是走未来的3条路线，一个是美俄乌的3边的会谈。那么另外一个就是关于欧盟的一个立场的一个谈判另外最后就是怎么样去寻求对乌克兰如果获得和平协议的签订之后，能够怎么样的去帮助乌克兰保障它的安全，就是所谓的安全保障的问题那么第二个问题就是从上个礼拜以来，我会透过3个单元来讨论中共是如何的虚伪的去篡夺这个抗战的真实历史。所以我今天特别引述了3份珍贵的历史的史料，一个是日本筑波大学的远藤裕教授所写的毛泽东勾结日军的真相，另外一个是谢由田先生所写的中共壮大之谜，最后是引述张国焘的我的回忆3个史料这个3个史料都去细靡遗的，而且非常客观的记录了中共在抗日时期的时候假抗日真卖国的行为，同时得出了一个结论，就是谁是中华民族的汉奸。我上个礼拜也说过，我今天这个节目我再讲一次，中华民族的汉奸就是毛泽东。